Welcome back to OTM on the moon.
We're doing it.
Bienvenidos.
It's our
Doing it live.
Desde la luna.
it's our third straight live session on a Sunday, so let's get it.
Repeat.
So last week we
Oh,
left
man.
off on your guys' Bundesliga picks. So
Oh, get your chickens up.
uh,
Uh-huh.
there was 9 games total this weekend, including the game tomorrow. So through 8 games, let's see where you guys stand and what you guys got going into tomorrow's game with Werder Bremen and Bayer Leverkusen.
Well, let's get this started because I think I feel like I'm a win.
Well, I am a very confident 4-4.
I'm feeling good.
Confident
I'm
4
very confident 4-4 going into Monday. I thought I was gonna hit on all of these, especially that draw. I was definitely aiming for that draw, and I didn't get it. There was more draws than I thought maybe, but not the one that I hit. 3 draws all week, and I didn't.
There was more moments calling for check your draws than actual draws. You know what I mean? So I feel it. I saw it out there. The Bundesliga is a weird, weird place right now, as is the world. But yeah, let's get through these picks, Nate, so we can see who the real winner is.
All right. So the first matchup we got listed here on Google. Sorry, I'm not going in the same order we left off in. I didn't write nothing down, so you can blame me for that. But so we're gonna go off of Google's list here.
And I will.
So the first matchup we got listed here is Hoffenheim versus Hertha Berlin. So who you got, Chewy?
Oh, I unfortunately took an L right here because I took the Hoffs. You know what I mean? I based it all on Hasselhoff, which was bad, poor thinking for a betting man. But, I've never seen either of these teams, so it was a shot in the dark.
I think you also took a shot at Berlin soccer, too, when you took this pick.
I did because I said I didn't even know there was a team in Berlin. Because to me, Berlin is more associated with something that I already knew, which was their madness, like their whole trance EDM, but crazy shit. I know people that have been to Berlin. That's kind of shit where you walk into the back of a party and you see some things that'll change your life forever. I'm not sure if I could say them on YouTube. You know what I mean? So it's whoa, okay. So I was I don't think they really care about football like that. But then you told me about that Copa 91 on the last episode. I went and checked that out of your recommendation. And holy shit. Not only is there a million teams in Berlin, but all of those fans are passionate as ever. Hardcore. It's basically gangs. You know what I mean? Out there. It's madness. I love it, but it's just also it's a little crazy.
Soccer gangs?
But anyways. Yeah. Yeah, no. You'll get stabbed for liking another team. But either way, now it makes sense why Berlin cooked it up in this game. The Hoffs got Hoffed hardcore because it was 3-0. But yeah, I don't remember what Oscar picked, but I'll take the L on that.
Good advice. Take anything that starts with Hoff. And it didn't pay out this time.
I'm riding with Berlin.
I'm willing to bet on anything that starts with Hoff going forward. But, you can't win them all this week. Unfortunately, it didn't hit. So I took that out.
All I have to say is that I'm not messing with nothing from Berlin from now on. My bad, Berlin. We good, man. I want no trouble.
All right, so the next game we got is the next game we got is the Battle of the Bergs. We got Augsburg versus Wolfsburg, with Wolfsburg coming out on top 2-1. So, Oscar, who'd you go with?
I took Wolfsburg there, and I believe I got the dub.
Okay. We finally got a point on the board.
Or you know what? I think that was my draw.
Oh, no? Was it?
Wait a second. Yeah, this was his draw. Because Because this was the bad.
It was the Berghoff.
Yeah. In this Berghoff, what it was the bad beat. It was the bad beat of the week because Wolfsburg actually won it in the 91st minute in extra time. Daniel Ginzek scored.
So do I get half
minute.
a point
Low
for being almost right?
No. You had won it, but it was a bad beat. That's why it was a bad beat. It was just like, yeah, almost had it. You tasted the money.
Well, I was right in regulation. Still no funky German math. You can get me like a half a point, a quarter of a point. No? All right, well, fuck it. I tried.
0 points.
All right, Chewy, who'd you go with?
It's just the way the wind blows,
What'd you take on
friend.
that one?
I took Augsburg, which was just a little unfortunate, but yeah, I took the Augsburg based on just the fact that my birthday's in August, and I just didn't want to take Wolfsburg because it's just, because the only reason I was going to take them is just because I was thinking of Wolves, and I was just like, yeah, Wolves, male testosterone shit. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I'll take Augsburg. That's too easy. So it happens sometimes. But yeah, I took the L on that, Augsburg, for sure. All right. For both of us.
So the next match that I got, I think you guys both get a point for this because I'm pretty sure I know exactly who you guys took because I kept trying to get you guys to change that pick before the match, but I happen to be wrong. So, but the next match we got on our list is Dortmund versus Schalke, and 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. Look at how American I am. 4-0. So, so I'm gonna just move on from that. So you guys will both get a point, unless you guys unless there's something you guys want to say on about that game. I don't know if you guys watched it or not. But
okay, the only thing I want to say is, of course, Haaland will always get all the credit because he's a darling, and trust me, he's a great player, especially for his age. He's a baby still, but to me, the real MVP of that game was Thorgan Hazard, the unknown Hazard, and he balled out. He's a real good player. He takes good command of that, CAM position, and he's just a beast like his brother. He's just not as flashy, maybe. You know what I mean? But he gets a job done.
But he sounds way tougher. He sounds like a superhero, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was an easy one. I do appreciate my man's the big ticket Kevin Garnett repping that Schalke jersey.
That was popping.
Even though he went with Winston McKinney, right?
Yeah, that was funny to me that he called him Winston McKinney. But hey, you know what? He looked good in that kit. So hopefully more people are watching soccer after this anyway, regardless of how. To be honest, it was kind of hard to watch, like, with no fans. Like, it's fun to watch, like, in terms of just watching the sport and the tactics that play out. But one, the players weren't ready to play. They needed more play time. It felt like a preseason game more than it felt like in the heat of a battle Bundesliga match. So I think.
Yes. So let's get into it. Some of those.
Yeah, I think they got some more. I think they got some work to do in terms of getting the average fan to watch an empty stadium game. But for me, I could watch it, but yeah, it wasn't as exciting, that's for sure. But I have a trick where, so for example, I was watching the Frankfurt versus Gladbach, right? And it was at Frankfurt. So what I did is I went onto YouTube, found the Frankfurt supporters songs where they're singing, like where the whole crowd is singing, and then I just had that playing in the background while I was watching the game. It worked out fine. Yeah. It worked out fine for me. I mean, you couldn't really tell the difference. Obviously, it doesn't get as exciting, when people score and shit like that. But that's my pro tip for the day. So back to
that to me is so dumb and so genius at the same time. I just don't understand it. It defies everything I know. I love it. I should have fucking done that. Oh my! That makes me want to just play soccer chants everywhere I go. Like while I'm at work now,
just driving in
play
the car.
Random soccer chants. Yeah, Just when I'm like, man, I feel a little sleepy. Oh, I got something for that. Just get ready. Hold on. Yeah. Like we're going 15 miles an hour. Yeah, we got soccer channels.
I wonder if it wouldn't be better just to play some music in the background while the games are going on, right? Like, because my ass didn't wake up on time to catch the early games as much as I tried. So I caught the replay later on, and I was listening to the New Future album the whole time, and that was the Future album.
Oh, that's funny.
It was the game.
Well, that's cool too. I get what you're saying now too. I thought you play the crowd.
Like, obviously, football without fans is not ideal, but get some noise in there, right? Something to pump up the crowd. They play music during NBA games, like in the middle of the action. It did feel a little weird for a little bit for some games. It felt kind of amateurish, right? It felt like an exhibition match because there was nobody there.
But notice they only did that in cities like Minnesota and Detroit and shit, like where motherfuckers ain't winning no games anyway, so who cares?
I mean, that's true, but that still kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Like you're not gonna see them play some like 2 Chainz while the Lakers are playing. You know what I'm saying? At Staples, that's just not gonna happen.
Well, I mean,
who knows? Actually, who knows? I've seen crazier shit, and I think that's actually a possibility. To be honest,
I wouldn't mind.
It's weird to say.
So we got
it's weird to say, but I think it's a very much a possibility in 2020 and beyond. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, I would. Like,
it'll just be different. You won't be able to control it, but you'd be like, it's not that bad. Like, okay. Yeah. Like, at least it's some okay shit. You know what I mean? It's not like they're fucking feeding you like opera music or some weird shit. Like, watch basketball with our best fucking opera singer and just be like, no. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here? This is some fucking Fifth Element shit. You know what I mean? No.
So if and when the NBA does like come back to action, and for sure they're not going to be able to have fans in attendance, I'm assuming anyway. Yeah, like they're gonna have some music playing right in the back. They're still gonna have like that hype music playing in the background, the dun 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 dun, right?
I mean, to be honest, like
yeah, they're gonna be able to.
Is fine with music. Like that shit actually works. Like I don't know if that shit works for soccer or for the NFL. It's definitely not gonna work for baseball. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how that's gonna work for different sports, but for basketball. That shit for sure works. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, most of these dudes, like, if you see, like, their scrimmages and their practice, it is music playing in the background. You know, so it's not just straight up, like...
Yeah, but you know what's going to suffer is, like, places like Utah, like Sacramento, like, hardcore fan bases. You know what I mean? Like... Those guys are really going to lose it because that's all they're used to playing under. It's just like these almost like college fan bases. You know, even Indiana. Like, come on, man. Like, that's all they got out there. It's a fucking team. So
it definitely affected the viewing experience, right? But, like, I don't think it did anything as far as, like, the gameplay is concerned, right? Like, did you guys think these guys were, like, affected on the field at all? I don't know.
I think it did, to be honest.
I think it maybe took them a little longer to get their feet wet, right? To get their feet underneath them. I don't think they were affected.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it affected the entire team the same way either. Like, I think each guy played very different depending on the circumstances. You know what I mean? So, like, there was guys that were kind of, like, going all at it like they usually were. I don't want to just say great professionals or not, but just they were playing their heart out. They were going fast. And then there was other guys that were just like, you could see it. It was lackadaisical. It was, slow. But anyways.
All right. So let's get back to these picks then. So we left off with the Dortmund-Schalke matchup. The next match I got on my list actually ended up in a draw. It was Dusseldorf and Paderborn. So, real quick, who did you take, Chewy?
Shit. Oh, my gosh. I took the Deucels, so I took the L right there. Yeah, I took the dust.
All right, Oscar, real quick, who'd you take?
Because I thought that was a ridiculous word.
Which one? What?
Paderborn.
So you both took the opposite team and ended up in a draw, so it's a wash. So
yeah, I totally bit the dust on that one.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So speed round here. Next match was RB Leipzig versus SC Freiburg. And that match also ended up in a 1-1 draw this time instead of a goalless draw. So real quick, Chewy, who'd you take in that match?
Man, I took the only team that gives you wings, which is Red Bull Leipzig. I took the L right there.
Oscar, you took the same, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Although I think they took one back. You wanted a lightning round here, but you can't hit Leipzig and then ask for a lightning round. But yeah, I think they got a goal taken away late, I believe, and so that they could have lost that one. Freiburg got a goal taken away. That is.
They got Freiburg.
They got Freiburg. Sure.
Real quick, one last thing on this match, on this team actually, is Liverpool going to sign Timo Werner? Oscar.
It ain't my money, man. Do it. Shoot.
All right, Chewy.
It ain't my euros.
I don't really care for Timo anymore. He's unimportant to me.
I'd still rather have my man's in the back. I think we're fine up front, but I mean, shoot.
I don't really.
Somebody came and put a new log on your fire.
And
look at somebody came and put a log on your fire.
Hey, bro.
Shout out Linus Tech Tips for the fireplace.
Hey, you gotta let me know because it's already too hot in here. Like I was okay where it was at.
Shout out.
Let somebody know, man.
Shout out Linus Tech Tips for the fire on Chewy's background there.
Wow. I mean, that is nice, though. I appreciate you. God bless
but yeah, at least, anyway, I wasn't impressed after this one. My bad. I wasn't impressed after this one to be like, yeah, let's fucking get him. I know what he's, I don't know. I've seen what he's done this season. So I'd still rather have my man in the
I think, okay, to me, obviously, I think he's showing his age. Obviously, that's going to happen. Sure. But I think it also showed his age more in time off. Like, he's not able to take that much time off anymore. That was bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, I'm over it. Like, no, why? That's going to be a waste of a pick. You know what I mean? Why not just let Shaq play more and keep him? You know what I mean?
Shaq's gone, though.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, no, we can't get something that is just a little bit better than Shaq right now. No.
You know who is going to benefit from all this extra time off, though? #NabbyLad.
I hope so, because he's got me so nabby mad right now.
Yeah, I hear that, man.
So ever since he came over, he's been like brittle. Yeah, he's been as brittle as brisket. You feel me? So it's like, no.
I was so excited for that too. I tried to get you. I tried to hype you up on that date. My man's just he hasn't been doing it.
No, don't get me wrong. He looked great while he was at Red Bull. I mean, this is very related to Bundes right now. Yeah. He looked really good while he was at Red Bull, but it's just like he never, like, people forget how physical the Premier League is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then plus, like, he rushed back from injury for to play for the national team, right, during the summer, and got hurt right away. So. And then he just really hasn't been able to recover that. And then, Liverpool plays so many damn games a year that it's like once he gets in and he gets some good runs, he looks good and then gets hurt.
The honest truth is this. Like the honest truth is probably this, is the poor guy has been so worried about losing his job on a premier team that he's just like rushing back too fast. Like, get your rest, dude. Relax. Chill. Like, take more time off for real, because it's like, it's your career. You're gonna save your career. Like, even if Liverpool gets over you because you took too much time off, like, just go to another team and start cooking again. Trust me, Europe will notice. You're already in Europe. Like, that's all I'm saying. It's like, you're already in Europe. Even if you get sent to Serie A right now, you're getting watch time. You're getting TV time. You know what I mean? But don't get sent to Serie A without like an N95 mask, my boy.
I think he still needs some more time, though. I think he still needs some time to get integrated with the rest of the team. Like Taki needs some time too.
Oh, right? Yeah, that boy needs time.
Yeah, hello, Taki. Yeah,
some time to get integrated with the squad. Yeah. But we got some more. We got another match here on the board.
He got. Speaking of Taki, I mean, not only the squad, he got to learn English, playboy. I mean, and then he got to learn Scouts on top of that. Like, it ain't gonna get any easier. So, I mean, yeah. But all right. So we did have one. We have one last match for Saturday, and then we have 2 matches today. 1 match tomorrow. So the last match on Saturday here listed on Google is Eintracht Frankfurt versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. So let's see. Who wants to go first? Chuey, you want to go first? Oscar, you want to go? Oscar, you go first.
I mean, this one, what the hell did I know about these teams at the time? I took more Mönchengladbach because, again, this league has the best teams than any other league. The funniest names, and that's a funny name. So I took Borussia Mönchengladbach.
All right, it's just I love like I'm really loving the way you guys have like justified making these picks. Like, I was born in August, so I took Augsburg, and like, this had the funniest name that I could see on the list, so I just took it. Like, I love it. All right. So,
as a bettor, sometimes one last thing to say: as a bettor, sometimes you're gonna make the stupidest superstitious decisions you've ever made in your life. Like, even if you're not superstitious, you're just like, I think they can help me win this week, please, God. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I got my chickens right on this one because I took Mönchengladbach, glad to be back, baby, over Frank and farted all over themselves because 35 seconds in, there was a goal. Come on, man. Before I could even get home, there was 2 goals by Gladbach.
Yeah, I think what pissed me off about this game the most was that the team with the best looking kits just got their ass handed to them by the team with the worst looking kits. Like, I know it's such like it's so vain to just go after what they look like, but Frankfurt got some fire kits, bro. Like, they have probably like the best kits in the Bundes right now. Like, in my opinion,
let me tell you something.
In the Bundes.
I wouldn't clean my car windows with that Gladbach kit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was heavy trash. Disgusting. You know what I mean? Soap or bleach couldn't save that bitch. It was bad. But Frankfurt was just as bad. You feel me? Like, they just came out just totally flat. And I think it's based on what I said in the previous episode, which is just, I think Frankfurt, because they made a decent showing in Europa League, not only last season, but this season, like, a lot of players got bought out. So Frankfurt is just kind of trash now. They were that one sleeper team that was going to lose.
Hot dogs, so.
Frankincense, I think.
Frankincense.
Motherfucker's named Francisco. I don't know. But they all
right. So let's move on to today's games. There's only 2. So the first game of the day was FC Köln versus Mainz. It ended in a 2-2 draw. So
we both took an L there.
I think we both took an L on that one. But
definitely.
Any thoughts on this game? You guys? Any of you got thoughts? No.
That was my favorite game of the week. There was 3 goals in the second half. It was the Chivas. They're a fun team to watch, man. They like the long balls, and I have long balls, so it was a match made in heaven. It was. They were fun. The Chivas, they did it. They nailed this was a fun game, back and forth.
That's funny because to me this was kind of like the sleeper game, but in terms of it was boring to me. No offense. But to me, Köln was the better team through much of the first half and kind of into the early part of the second half. I'd say like probably like the first hour of the game, Köln was basically dominating this game. But everything seemed really weird. This was like the first game that felt really COVID weird to me in terms of just how surrealistic and how like dystopian futuristic it just felt. Mainz got back into the match, I think, because of that reason. Like, I think Köln just, like, there was no crowd to be, like, happy that they were up, in a sense. Like, There was nothing that felt great about it.
That one definitely advances.
And I'm not sure if that lack of energy in the second half or after the first hour could become a commonality throughout the Bundesliga and what that'll do to the games going into the future of these games. You know what I mean? Because at first we were just happy with just this weekend, but now watching a majority of these games this weekend, it's got me thinking about the future of not only Bundesliga, but sports in general. Like, fuck, man. This is still so strange, so surrealistic to me. But yeah, that's how this match felt to me. I took the L. I took my mine's, not yours, but mine's totally lost.
Man, that whole second half was full of action, and it just looked like fun style of play. Just go deep, man. Go. That's old school Al Davis football, man. Go long, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I've heard like Al Sharpton and Tom Brady say that too, like both on different occasions. But
all
anyway.
right, so moving on. So the last game of today was the 28th time Bundesliga champion Bayern Munich versus a team that Chuey didn't think existed. I mean, to be fair,
I love the reminder though.
To be fair,
it is true.
You know, I mean,
you did.
They barely exist.
Listen, but I learned something from that. I learned something from that mistake because you, on that episode, even told me to go watch a Copa 90 documentary, which it is a documentary, because I thought it was going to be like a 10-minute Copa 90 documentary. I was like, okay. It was 58 minutes on YouTube, people. It's free. Go and watch it.
It's definitely
but it was really good, and it was basically about how passionate Berlin is about football to a point where like every single neighborhood has a football team. Like every other block. There's like about 50 teams in Berlin, and they're all very extremely passionate. Anyways, the Berlin team. Wait, we're talking about which Berlin team are we talking about? Now I know
they played Union Berlin.
The Onion.
Now I know so many Berlin teams that I get mixed up. You see how different a week is, kids. Get your mind up, okay? Get them brain cells cooking again, okay? Because honestly, there was this might also feel like a bad beat because Bayern had scored a third goal. Mueller had scored a goal, but it was disallowed because he was offside. And let me tell you, he was offside by like a hand. It's that weird VAR shit. But anyways, Lewandowski scored as usual, and Pavard's always going to eat just because he's on that team. I'm not sure he's that good yet, but because he's on that team, he's good. And I mean, he is a good French international. I can't take that away from him, but I'm just not sure yet. He's only 24.
I think Mueller was hurt too, right? He wasn't even going to be ready for this game, but since the layoff happened, he happened to make it. I think he had getting back from a surgery or something like that, right?
Something like that, or he coughed on his own nuts at a restaurant or some shit, or at home, and they were like, nope, you can't play. You coughed. So it was over. Anyways, what was the next pick?
I don't mean to be disrespectful. This guy, Tom, he's done a lot of things, but he reminds me of some strange looking cats from my neighborhood. That something about his face.
Oh,
man. He's got a little bit of meth mouth. I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean,
like faces of men. There, I say.
Cheers to them weird cats in Oscar's neighborhood that look like Thomas Mueller. Cheers, motherfuckers.
Yeah. You see him on my Ringmore app, checking car doors and shit at night.
Oh, I've seen them on Goodreads before. Yeah, they're reading good books, at least.
Well, ones that they stole, I'm sure.
Oh, man. All right, what else we got?
One more game.
So we got a game tomorrow. We got Bremen versus.
But what's our score right now? What's our score right now before we move on to the next game? Where are we at?
Well, that's where I'm getting to. If you let me talk, motherfucker.
Well, I'm gonna let you talk when you want to talk, but let's talk. Okay, talk.
So So tomorrow's the last game of the first week back, right? We have 8 games that have been played this weekend with one more game tomorrow. That's Werder Bremen versus Bayern Leverkusen. So I think right now, let's see, what are your guys' scores here going through these games here? Let's see.
As far as I was keeping it, I'm 4 up. $4.
4 up.
Yeah, I got $4 in the pot right now.
And I think Oscar got the same too.
4-4?
Yeah, 4-4.
I think it's 4-4. Yeah.
No, don't tell me 4-4 going into Monday Night Football. Don't tell me 4-4.
with Tyreek Hill and
well, you both took Hurt. No, you both didn't take Hertha. You both.
No, I took Bremen the dude, baby.
Yeah.
I took Bremen the dude last week.
Right.
Yep.
That was yours. All right, and then,
come on.
Okay, so. All right.
Oh, what the hell?
Okay.
And who do you got, Oscar? Who you got tomorrow? What's that game?
Leverkusen. We got Leverkusen tomorrow. But I think I'm down. I think I'm down 1.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I took that draw. I took that draw. So I am down 1. He took Augsburg because he's born in August.
So he took an L on that, but then you took the draw on that game. So
I took the draw, so I didn't get the point.
You take the L on that, yeah.
No, but if I'm 4 up, we have to be drawn. Because he also took the under. I mean, the over on 3.5. So I got a dub on that. That's my other dub.
I think. That's right. Because we counted the over.
Yeah. He took the L on the over because he added that sprinkle last week.
That's right. That's what we missed out on the Bayern game.
Yeah, there was a little sprinkle on the Bayern game, which was over under 3.5 goals. Oscar said that it was goals overall. It didn't have to be by any team. It just meant overall goals for the game. And Oscar said that Bayern would score all 4 to give him the over win. I took the under on that.
Yeah.
I escaped by a VAR reversal and just another goal didn't get scored.
VAR strikes again.
It was close. It was close, but
VAR.
It was definitely what I'm starting to call a VAR-troversy. You know what I mean? It's a VAR-troversy. That's what it is. So that's still happening in COVID times.
So going into tomorrow's game, we got Chuey up 4 points to Oscar's 3. And this is Oscar's chance to catch up, or is this Chewy's chance to get ahead? So let's just go over who you guys picked for this game real quick. Chuey, who did you take?
I took Bremen. Bremen the dude.
All right, Oscar, who'd you take?
Leverkusen, of course.
Okay, even better, because now you guys are split on the pick. Oh, I love it. So this is really going to determine which one of you is, if Chewy can get ahead or if Oscar can level it out, and we might have to break the tie next week. See what happens.
And I'll be honest with you. It is a blind pick for me. I haven't studied either of these teams. I have no idea what's happening here. But I'm just going for Bremen because I like that.
Bremen the
just
dude.
I don't only just like that it rhymes with Devin the dude, but it's just it's got 2 crazy names like Werder, Bremen. You know what I mean? Like, damn, you got to drop the Bremen on me like that. Like Werder was cool enough, but that Bremen really got me. And I was like,
with that green W and everything, their logo is pretty dope too. I like it.
Yeah. So I was like, I was already bought with Werder, but Bremen took me all the way. I was like, yeah, I'm down with that. That shit's gonna be wild.
I got real, actual doll hairs on this game tomorrow. I got Leverkusen to win it, and I actually got Leverkusen to win the first half. So let's recoup some of that money that Daddy lost on the UFC this week. And yeah, let's do that. Let's win some money tomorrow.
And from a betting standpoint, UFC is a cold-hearted bitch for sure. So is boxing though, but not as bad. But
that's one thing about betting too. Like you bet on something, you bet on something you don't know anything about. You bet on some random fucking college team, and then you're involved and trying to figure out, trying to chase the score all weekend.
What used to get me?
All about that action, boss.
What used to get me a lot of money back in the day was WNBA, because nobody was betting on it, so no sharps were moving the line, and you would just have to read about it. I'm talking about in internet times on your phone. So you'd have to read the LA Times. You'd read the LA Times and they talk a little bit. It'd be like the small section about WNBA, Sparks and shit, whatever. But you'd learn about the teams. By the time you made your bet, it was just like easy money. It was like a high line, but even a high line, because nobody was betting for the WNBA, was so small that you were willing to pay the extra price. Like, it was so little juice. And dude, I was just making racks off of the WNBA easily. It felt like it was a side job.
Back when Chewy had to fax his picks in.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. I had a time where we actually received a card every week to make our picks for football. Legit. And you just had to mark it. You had to turn in by Wednesday. If you didn't have them in by Wednesday, you didn't have your picks for the weekend. You fucked up.
The NBA is actually real fun to watch if you if you want to stop being such a fucking degenerate and actually watch these women put on a good fucking show.
Oh, the WNBA? I thought you said the NBA. No, the WNBA is actually pretty decent. It's not that bad. It's pretty good. It's obviously got room to grow, but it's just like it needs to get a little viewership, and it might. I think it's picking up a little bit of steam, slowly but surely. I mean, I'm seeing MLS grow dramatically in the past 10 years. Like,
sure.
To me, I've told Nate in previous conversations that I honestly believe that 50 years from now, that soccer will be the number one sport in the United States. And anybody can challenge me against that. Hopefully I'm alive to see it by then.
About it. You sound like you want to talk about it.
But no, it just is. It's not a fluke that it's the world sport already and that we just haven't given into it.
Well, soccer's been the fastest growing sport here for like the last 20 years, right?
Not only that, but the athletes that retire from that sport, they're not degenerated. They're actually doing something that's extremely healthy for them, because not only are they including weight training with running, but they're doing both consecutively.
Why do you think it is that
just running or just weightlifting, right? Because you'll get too buff if you're just weightlifting, and if you're just running, you'll get too skinny. You know what I mean? But they're the perfect balance of athletic health. You know what I mean? That'll give you longevity in life. Like, you see these old soccer legends, and they're like 67 years old, and they still look great. Yeah. That great gray hair. Like, it's just like, damn. Yeah. Wonderful. They're still playing in these classic games. See what I mean? Where, like, the legends come out, the legends matches and shit. It's like, it's the one sport that it's just like, it's sustainable over a long period of time, and it will. We just have been very arrogant as a country to give into it, but it's coming. I mean, it's here already.
I was going to say, why do you think that is? Why do you think we haven't, it hasn't hit us like caught on like even like the UFC?
Because we're American and we wanted to be different. We wanted to be apart from the world and say, no, that's not going to be our favorite sport.
Is it because it's not ours? We can't own it?
Yeah, because we can't own it. Exactly. We're gonna make a sport, and everybody's gonna love it. And they did do that.
You give us another 5 years, we will gentrify the fuck out of soccer for sure.
Exactly. We'll give in because we'll know we have to, and we'll be just as good or not better. Right? So it's just like we have to give in.
Park, they will definitely get the whole entire sport of soccer.
Because any other sport, we did make it our own. Like basketball, we own that. Even our softest wannabe dream teams have owned soccer. Spain, you right there too. Much respect. But, you know what I mean? Baseball. Like, baseball's an interesting conversation, though. because it's mostly dominated by Latin American players now. So I think the U.S. is also an outcast in baseball now, very much. I think the Dominican teams are very good. I think the Cuban teams are very good. I think, there's a lot of good teams. There's the Venezuelan team.
Baseball is just so the World Baseball Classic this year. They canceled the fuck out of that.
I heard about that.
Which I'm really bummed about because we don't get a lot of we don't get to see a lot of the Cuban baseball players out here.
Well, it's basically what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, it's like their only chance to defect is coming out here to play the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, that's their chance to shine. You know what I mean? So
no, it's their chance to get the fuck out. that's our chance.
Well, haven't the sanctions and everything kind of freed up in Cuba anyway? Like, I'm sure those boys can travel out of Cuba now.
They did a little bit
at any moment.
Your boy Trumpasso got in there and shut that shit down real quick.
Damn, for real? I didn't even know about that. Yeah, wow.
Low key, my aunt still goes all the time. Like, it's not hard to get over there. There's a will, there's a way.
Palos Verdes, dude, that's a nice view of the beach. Are the algae still out there? No, in the day you could see them too. It looks like the water is just blood red because it's loaded with them. It looks like that deep dark red. Oh, okay. Yeah, I took Josh out there like 2 weeks ago, and it was just blood red for miles, even pretty close to the horizon.
Republican red.
I was just explaining to him. I was like, can you imagine how much algae is there? Because algae is so small, and those little microorganisms. Like, imagine how much is out there, like trillions, to be able to make the ocean look red. Like, it's crazy. Unfortunately, we didn't go at night, which is the best time because that's when they glow. But yeah, but it was amazing. If you guys have a chance and you guys live by the coast on the Pacific end,
back.
Get out there.
Put another log in your fire.
Oh shit! Hey, my man.
Hey,
that's the real MVP right there, my man. Hey, man, I'm feeling toasty out here. Your boy's feeling toasty.
My fucking lit, girl.
Yeah, man, I'm lit up. You know what I mean? I'm so lit right now. Thank you. Dennis and Linus, man. Shout outs to my boys out there on YouTube. Thank you.
That's something I was hoping we would leave like in 2019.
What, logs and fireplaces, man?
Nah, logs. We need logs for sure. I dropped a log before we got on this podcast.
Oh, my God. Damn.
No,
I think we just got taken off YouTube.
Lit this, lit that. I think we overuse that. We need to change it up. Get it out of the lexicon already.
Of what? What do you think we need to change up? Oh my God. Nada. Yeah, I heard there was some interesting things happening this week, like fungus stuff, right? Oscar brought up some fungus stuff. What kind of fungus stuff was happening, Oscar?
Oh, can I see a badge, Chuey?
What? What was that? I missed.
Every week in 2020 feels more and more strange, honestly. It feels stranger than the last, right? Like something about this week was just totally off for me. Like I don't know. I ran out of like rice and beans to eat. I wasn't reading this week, and it changed up my whole mood, dude.
Man, one thing during these times, trust me, people, is you got to read. Please read. Today I was reading a book called Deep Nutrition. Every week I'm reading a different book. And this week I was reading a book called Deep Nutrition, and I was actually on a chapter that's talking about how bad vegetable oils are for your brain cells, and how vegetable oil is basically destroying all of our brain cells, and how all of this whole cholesterol scare that started happening in sort of like the 60s and 70s kind of forced us to start eating bad, like a way we've never ate in 1,000 years of our genealogy. And it was just crazy. It was blowing my mind. It was just like, oh man, I don't know why I read such strange things all the time, but it takes me to these magical places of just knowledge, whether it's good knowledge or bad knowledge, right? Because it's just like, because all it leads to for me is more knowledge. Because I'm like, what the fuck does this all mean?
Like, what specifically was it saying that changed in our diet?
Well, one thing that's changed in our diet is that we've just because we're scared of getting high cholesterol, right? What's been associated with high cholesterol. We eat less of things that are associated with high cholesterol. And by doing that, we are devoiding our system of nutrients that our bodies have been allowed for thousands of years. We're all of a sudden devoiding our bodies from them and expecting ourselves not to get sick as our body tries to regulate, its system via the gut's own brain, which I consider the second brain pretty much. You know what I mean? It doesn't make conscious thoughts, or it doesn't make conscious decisions, but it makes decisions on where to send everything that gets sent in.
And you're talking about like gut bacteria?
Gut, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about gut problems. I mean, it not only does it cause gut problems, but it also devoids us from a lot of oxygen and blood that could be reaching our brain. So like one quick association that the book made is, it was like, imagine a rainforest without moisture. You know what I mean? Because the moisture helps the rainforest in many ways. Not only does it allow fungus, which helps the trees transfer nutrients amongst each other, but like it also helps against the heat, so the rainforest won't light up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It won't burn up. So fungus is a really interesting thing because it's actually a lot closer related to us as an organism than it is to plants, yet it plays a vital role in the communication of not only just consciousness of plants, but nutrients and different systems. It's almost like a plant superhighway in a sense, whether it's in a forest or in a rainforest or in a jungle, right? So it's very interesting. Yeah, you got to keep reading, man, because like crazy shit will happen when you read, Remember reading Rainbow when we were kids? It's in a book. Just take a look. Reading Rainbow.
So, who wrote that book? Do you have it on you? Like, can you show it to us?
Oh, man. Actually, the book is at your place.
No shit.
I left the actual book at your place. But I love that book so much because it contains so much knowledge that I actually got it for my Kindle as well.
Oh,
so
damn.
I have access to I have access to that book at all times. It's called Deep Nutrition. I think the doctor's called Catherine, but I can't get her last name right now. Deep Nutrition by Catherine. I'll get it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I like I said, dude. I wasn't something about. Well, they say you are what you eat, and I've always felt like I'm so out of touch with my own fucking body that like I never really feel anything that's going on,
No, so like
on a regular sort of like,
but any of those
on, and I fucked it off this week, and you totally fucked up my entire mood, right? Not like my emotions were changing, like I just get these waves of fucking emotions, and it's like you could tell it wasn't going on inside, right? In my stomach, it wasn't. It started there, right?
But it's funny that you say. It's funny that you say that, because in relation to me calling the gut the second brain, is like you need to take those feelings a lot more seriously. Like treat that as almost like getting a headache. Like what the hell's happening in my gut? Because your gut is trying to make you feel like shit for a reason. Like that's its way of communicating to you. Like, yo, whatever you put in us right now is not cool. This shit is fucked up. We don't want none of this because no, this is no good to our system. What are you doing? You're poisoning us, basically. But most people just treat it this way. This is the problem, is they associate heartburn and those sorts of feelings with spicy food. You know what I mean? So when you just feel that, you're like, damn, okay, with spices too. So they're like, oh man, that shit had some strong spices in it. Where it's like, no, that shit was just not good for your body. Either way, Nate, I found the author of the name, and her name is Catherine Shanahan. You know?
Oh, okay.
And she is an MD, and she actually was Kobe Bryant's nutritionist for a long time.
Oh, no shit.
Also, yeah. But I think he went and searched for her. She had no business in like sports medicine or anything like that. It was just she was just a really thorough, well-studied nutritionist. You know what I mean? And that's what he wanted. He wanted the best in the world at everything, right? Makes sense.
Right.
For him. But it's a really good book, and it is at your place. You probably have it inside, which is good. That means you've been reading it, or your girl's been reading it.
I think she's been reading it, because I just stepped away to look for it right now, and I can't find it out here. So
which is good, because it's a fantastic book.
So I'm pretty sure she's
reads it.
I'm pretty sure she's probably reading it right now.
But if you're ever able to get your hands on that book, just open up a random chapter. You don't have to read that book linearly, because each chapter has its own focus. And it's telling you the stuff that's really killing us today. You know what I mean? Right. And that we're just not aware of because we're not gaining knowledge. We're just going to grocery stores and saying, hey, if it's on the shelf, it must be good. They wouldn't sell us poison, right? Like, actually, yeah. I mean, they need you alive more than anything. That's why I say humans are the virus, because that's exactly what a virus wants. It wants you alive enough to drain you. It wants to drain you right to the edge and just keep you there. Fantastic. I'm sorry for that darkness right now. That's pretty dark. But anyways, like, one good thing that people could use, because I think it's like National Fungus Picking Day or Mushroom Picking Day or some shit like that last week. That is something interesting that was happening last week, but I can't remember what day.
But National Mushroom Hunting Day. Yeah.
What day was that? Okay, Friday. Wow, just 2 days ago. Okay, I apologize for wanting to promote mushrooms and not even knowing that fact. Damn it, I suck. But anyways, I got recommended Reishi mushrooms by a very holistic gym owner a few years ago, and I wasn't sure how factual it was, and I'm always skeptical about what I put in my body, so he always told me this. He's like, because I got really sick one time, I went to his gym because I just really wanted to work out really bad at the time. And this was years before all this COVID shit, so it was okay to be a sick person in public, right? Anyways, so I went over there and he was like, one good thing that you could add to your diet that'll prevent you from ever getting sick. And he was like, I introduced it to my diet and I haven't been sick like for real in like I
swear to God, if you say fucking turmeric, I'm hanging up. If you say turmeric, don't you fucking say turmeric.
No. But he did recommend turmeric at some point, I will say that. But anyway, turmeric is important. But yeah, it's an interesting herb. But anyway, so he was like, add reishi mushrooms to your diet. But he did tell me this while I was sick. He was like, but don't do it right now. And I was like, what? And the way he said it, like almost like stopping me right away, like he knew he made a mistake. I was like, oh, shit. It made me kind of take the precaution that he wanted me to by that delivery. But anyways, it was like, he was like, don't take them while you're sick. He couldn't really explain it at the time, but he was like, just don't take them while you're sick. But once you get over your sickness, start taking them for months because you just need to use it as a supplement and it'll help you. I was like, what? I was like, all right. So the next part of the story is me coming home and just being like, reishi mushrooms sound fucking crazy. I'm not putting that shit in my body. Not right now. So here's where I go on this crazy, like, just trying to figure all that out. Let me take a drink so I can tell you guys this story. So anyways, reishi mushrooms. Reishi in Chinese basically means, or it translates to lingqi, which literally translates to the mushroom of immortality, my friends. Okay? This is the red reishi mushroom. In Latin, yeah, its Latin name is Ganoderma lucidum. Okay? And it grows all over North America in the woods primarily. It has tons of health benefits. Some of the most, like, some of the grander ones are like it helps liver function, brain function, and it aids in sleep. It also serves as a sort of adjunct. So by adjunct, I mean not necessarily essential, but a supplementary medicine to cancer. It's helped, and they've done plenty of studies where it's helped with a lot of interesting things related to cancer. I mean, 3 things off top that I could tell you guys about the reishi mushroom is that reishi extract has very strong antidepressant and anti-anxiety effects. That they've done studies on a small group. They won't say a big group, so it's still considered like a pseudo kind of thing. But enough people where they saw a significant increase, I would say. They've also done a lot of tests on honeybees, which is interesting because of the way honeybees work. Okay, so then the next thing I was thinking is like, why did this guy tell me not to take these while I was sick, right? And I was like, I need to figure that out. I end up finding out that the reishi mushroom is actually considered something that is called an immunomodulator. And what an immunomodulator is it basically can act as an immune stimulant if your body is requiring that. But it can also decrease the production of your immune cells if your body's requiring that. So it's very interesting. And that's when it got me thinking. I was like, that's why he told me not to take it while I was sick, right? Because at that time, your body's trying to reduce the white blood cells that can kind of help it fight and increase its immunity and fight whatever disease is happening, right? Or viral infection you might have. Reishi is also a very powerful inflammatory and antioxidant, which basically, if you take it in succession, it basically quenches both of those things in their tracks immediately. And if people don't know about antioxidants basically means oxidation of cells. So it's stopping the oxidation of cells, which oxidation in this sense means the aging of cells. Aging of cells can lead to damage in your DNA, which could lead to cancer, make you age faster. So this mushroom basically downregulates inflammation. A lot of things that people don't know about inflammation too is one thing that causes a lot of inflammation is dairy. So dairy, while it does contain some good fats, only in moderation, my friends, please. Because inflammation is also related to a lot of chronic illnesses. The most most known ones are cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. You know,
diabetes.
Just to name a few. Yeah. So the immunomodulator, the way that it works, which is kind of crazy that this little organism from the earth that grows from the earth is this immunomodulator, is that this is the way that they've tested it, is that certain autoimmune diseases can cause overproductions of certain white blood cells in order for that autoimmune disease to continue thriving and attacking your body. So the reishi mushroom, once it gets consumed, it knows how to transfer the right information so that it starts down-regulating and actually lowering your white blood cell count, which is crazy. To me, that shit is crazy.
Man.
Like, how can like a fungus that you can eat send signals to your body to cause a downregulation in cells that are usually need to be overregulated to help you fight things? You know what I mean? but it already automatically just understands, oh no, these guys are multiplying because they want to fuck you up. What?
It's like completely over my head. Like everything you're saying is just like,
guys, read. Kids, read, please. It's the craziest thing in the world. To me, it's better than watching movies. It's movies to me. To me, it's movies to me. You know what I mean? Speaking of good movies, I've rewatched a good movie recently, which was Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel. God damn, I love me some good noir movies, and especially a good LA noir. That's a good one. That one and LA Confidential are probably the top 2 LA noirs.
So, just a little bit of what you're talking about. You were talking about them Reishis.
Yeah. Reishi is the way to do it. Get Reishi'd up.
Like these right here, you mean?
Oh, you got some on deck?
Boy, I always got shrooms on deck. What do you mean?
Well, you're holding out. That just makes you a piece of shit, then. Oh, man.
Shoot that. You know, those don't even work on me anyway, man. I got some sort of weird immune system where I gotta take like some just unholy amount of mushrooms in order to see things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What mushrooms are you talking about particularly?
I mean, literally any ones that I've tried. Like, I don't know.
Okay,
man, I'm not like a normal human being. Maybe it's all the shit that's in my gut.
Okay. Can I finish my Reishi plug then? Because this will help you. Because Reishi can also improve your heart health, bruh. It can improve the blood sugar regulation throughout your body. How it does that, I don't know. I got to dig deeper.
So that must be good for people with diabetes then.
No, but just that alone, that information alone is just crazy to me. Like, what? How can it regulate that? Like, whatever. Anyways, and it improves your antioxidant molecules. So for all you ladies, if any ladies are even listening to this, like, it can make you look prettier, okay, honey? Eat some mushrooms. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say is just because we can give people all this information all we want, but everything we consume comes down to taste. Reishi mushrooms do taste like asshole. They're a little bitter. So add them to something sweet. Add them to like a tea. Add them to like a hot chocolate or something, and you'll be good. And if you guys want any more information on shrooms, just in general, for good or bad reasons, look up
just
Paul.
DM Chewy.
Yeah, DM me or look up Paul Stamets. Your YouTube search from it blowing your fucking mind. Trust me, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm not sure if you mentioned it. Maybe I missed it. How you actually consume those? What did you put them in?
You could get it. So you could get it as an extract already, which is the most common way to like.
Oh,
buy it
so.
Yeah. Well, actually, it'll be the cheapest way, because any other type of way you get it, like you'll probably have to go to like a specialized farmer's market that has those mushrooms. You'd have to ask someone that's actually cultivating those, which they could.
Yeah, I went to a special farmer to get my mushrooms.
And they'll probably charge you too much for that. So, yeah. And if you look up Paul Stamets and stuff, like some of those guys will really show you how to go in the woods and pick your own mushrooms. But just beware, disclaimer, like don't just go do that without getting some knowledge, please.
Stamets
there's
is
some
dope,
poisonous
man.
shit out there.
Yeah, I'm trying to cop one of those hats, man.
But yeah, he has that full mushroom hat. That's right. Dude, that mushroom gave his mom an extra few years from cancer. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, not that hat particularly, but the mushroom that hat was made from. Crazy. So it's like a lot of people don't know about shrooms. A lot of people just don't like them because they just associate them with being on pizza. And some people don't like mushrooms on their pizza, which I think is also crazy because mushrooms on anything to me is delicious. I'll put them on salad. I'll slap them in a sandwich. I'll eat them on pizza. You know what I mean? I'll eat them in places I don't even want to talk about on this podcast.
What's your favorite kind of mushroom to eat?
My favorite kind of mushroom is, unfortunately, it's like nothing exotic. It's just like your basic like portobello. It's so good. Like a thin slice of it is good.
That's always good. Yeah, it's always good.
But I just like mushrooms in general. Like I'll eat any that are edible.
Yeah. Your classic 5-tool mushroom, the portobello.
Portobello is classic, and it's really good. You could dip it in a little bit of oil. You could dip it in a little bit of olive oil, and eat it. A little bit of olive oil with a little sprinkle of spice in there. Like, man, kill. Yeah. Mushrooms just kill.
I think my favorite is lion's manes. That's like my favorite one.
Lion's mane's good. I've actually had that too, but I've had it as commonly as portobello, so I can't say it's my favorite.
And the oysters, obviously, oyster mushrooms are always good too. But the red reishi also doesn't have any gills underneath it. Yeah, it's flat. It's completely flat. Yeah, that's a red reishi. The one that I showed. Yeah. That's like my girl probably read that book, bro, because she right here with that. That's her. She got that. That was hers. That's why I ran inside to go grab that. But
she probably read that book, which is good. That's why I left it there, because I know that at some point you were very interested in nutrition, and I'm honestly, it's still a goal of mine, but at some point I want to become some kind of certified nutritionist. Like, I really enjoy learning about that kind of shit. Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting because I also believe in simulation theory. So it's like, I'm trying to beat the simulation.
You could go to, if you go to Torrance Farmers Market, there's...
What days are they open?
Saturday.
Give them a plug real quick.
Saturday until 1 o'clock. And Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, same until 1 o'clock. I can't remember if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. You'd have to Google that, Torrance Farmers Market. But
that sounds crunchier than taquitos.
Like, you still need to rock a mask and all that when you pull up, but
no, for sure, masks are gonna happen now for a long time.
And
it's on.
And I'm not sure if the mushroom people have been there lately, but when they are there, they have like a crazy booth, and like all along, like you walk into their booth and there's two tables, like tables on both sides of their booth. And like, as you're walking in, like there's like all kinds of crazy different mushrooms, like just different ones, like all the way down.
That's actually pretty
like,
cool, man.
All grown by the same, like, mushroom farm, or I don't know how you would call those, but yeah, like all different kinds of mushrooms. And like you could get, like, they have like bags, like a paper lunch bag, like a brown paper lunch bag, like for like they'll fill up like half of that shit for like $5, and just, it's all different kinds of mushrooms though. So it's like, it's so bomb. Like, you take some out, fry some, saute some.
I'm not that crazy about mushrooms, man. I can do it on the pizza, but or maybe in an omelet, but I'm not that crazy. I actually you can practice your new trade on me.
My guy. Let me tell you something. Trust me. Like,
just cut meat out of my diet, man. So I need to get into it.
I'm sort of against that, but I respect whatever your beliefs are and whatever your ideas are regarding that. So do your thing, but I would advise against it.
For sure, I get it.
I would advise more against more towards balance than I'm just going full meat, full, you know what I mean, carnivore or keto, or full vegan either, or vegetarian. Like, you need a balance of both. Both of those things are highly nutritious for us. We just need to learn to balance each one of them. You know what I mean? Regulate our system, right? Like, you're never going to add more oil to your car than it needs, right? And you're never going to put shit in the wrong place.
You obviously never rode in my Tahoe, dude.
Right? Yeah, but you're never going to put oil in the gas tank, right? You're never going to put oil in the windshield wiper fluid. You're just not going to do that shit.
Again, you've obviously never driven.
Man.
So, yeah, man, I've actually just tried to cut meat out of my diet as amongst a few other things, but mushrooms definitely something I gotta try to get more into.
No, you add it even if you just add it as an extract, like Nate just showed us. It's just a powder. You can add it to any drink, and it doesn't taste like shit. Some do, but I'm sure you could find some that's unflavored.
Also, Paul Stamets has a line of like mushrooms that, like, basically ground up mushrooms in a pill form that you could just buy and take it as a pill if you wanted the health benefits. But like, honestly, they're tasty. Like, when you cook them with shit, like if you make soup, like throw mushrooms in the soup, like they're just gonna
grilled mushrooms,
because they're just gonna absorb the flavor of the soup anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not really too bad. That's why it's like, we'll get that
some
$5
sauteed
bag
mushrooms
and throw most of that shit in a soup. Make like 2 different kinds of soups and shit.
I'm all right.
Or make them in a beef saute.
Meat,
do a beef saute with that.
Mainly just gotta cut that pork, boy. I know it's hard, Cubans and shit. Like it's hard to cut that pork, boy. It's hard to cut that pork, boy. I know. I already know.
Yeah, eat more chicken and beef.
It just tastes so good when it hits your lips.
I pretty much just limited my pork intake to only bacon. Like that's what I limited to only bacon.
Yeah, but more. Facing a whole pack of bacon still doesn't make it okay.
Oh, I'm not gonna face it no more.
I would
actually, if you switch to full meat mode, it is okay, I think. Because I went keto for a little while just to experiment with it, and I could take down a whole slab of bacon. You know, my lunches at work used to be 14 string cheeses and a half pack of salami. That's what my lunch would be. It was just easy because.
To be honest,
it was delicious, and I couldn't believe that these were actually good stats that I was getting into my system because I was counting all my macros while I was doing it. So it wasn't like I was just blindly just being like, I believe in keto. I'm just gonna eat a bunch of cheese and meat, what I've always wanted to do. No, I was on point on it, and I figured out that by the math, according to my weight and what I was trying to achieve, that I needed to eat about 12 to 14 string cheeses, and I could pair that with half a pack of salami, and I'd be straight for half of my day of eating. I'd be good. I'd hit my nutrients. And then I just had to repeat that in some other way at some other point of the day. And I would just fulfill that with a steak. Sometimes with steak and a little bit of eggs on the side because that's good protein.
Man, speaking
eggs
of steak,
have a lot of antioxidants.
Hey, speaking of steak, you know where I drove by today that I was just and
they're about to steak escape?
Nah, they're about to reopen soon. The San Franciscan.
The San Franciscan. I just called.
They're about to open live. They're about to open.
I just called it live.
My pops used to love that spot, son.
Hey, great.
We're gonna
escape, boy.
Yo, shout out to San Franciscan, but we're gonna do a live show from the San Franciscan soon.
My bad,
Trust me. We're gonna do a live show from San Franciscan. I promise you guys that.
And I'm gonna use up a whole table to myself because I'm gonna get that big ass steak that they like whatever that big ass expensive steak that they had on their list. I'm about to get that motherfucker first thing back. I don't care how big the plate is. I'll take up the whole table if I need.
Zeppelin.
It's got to be the porterhouse baby. Yeah, the porterhouse baby.
I mean, it's like a whole chunk of a cow,
it's fantastic. It's
shout out, great steak.
Shout outs to San Franciscan, straight out of California. You know what I mean? In name and in location. You know what I mean? I'm with it.
That sounds so good right now.
So, anyways, just going back to Bundesliga real quick. I just had to make one quick roll back to Bundes because, Bayern just basically told the whole league, Dortmund want to score 4 goals. We're just going to score 2. There's no title race. 58 points to 54 points, Bayern over Dortmund. Gladbach is in the mix. They're not that far behind. They got 52 behind. Dortmund's 54 and Bayern's 58. It's Bayern's title to lose. Once again, it's theirs to lose. And then we got Leipzig at 51. Okay? These 4 teams are going to play European football next year. How you guys feel about that? Bayern, Dortmund are always there. But Gladbach and Leipzig in European football, how you guys feel about that?
Yeah, but
if Leipzig was really about that business, they would have came out hotter than they did in this game, I think.
Leipzig? Because, so you're not buying Leipzig hype. Okay.
Because those teams show up. Dortmund showed up, right? Bayern showed up.
Yeah, that's true.
Those teams show up. They're not,
Gladbach showed up. Respect to Gladbach. They showed up too. They cooked it up in the ugly ass uniforms.
They showed up in the worst looking kids.
They didn't make it look pretty, but they showed
up. They came out in Target's finest, but they were like, "Hey, Target, baby, we out here."
Those look like some big K show.
That should look like a FIFA rewatch. Yeah, I mean, it was dirty.
So, I don't know if you noticed during those games, part of those COVID-19 precautions were the refs wiping down the balls basically literally any chance they get. Did you catch that at all?
I mean, the only balls getting wiped are mine when I was watching that game. But Well, let me tell you something. No, that is the game that had the most controversy, seriously, because they're the only guys that broke the rules. And they were the rules according to last week's episode, right? Where the only contact was feet and what else? Elbows, right?
Yeah.
Throw them elbows up.
Yeah.
Okay, my guys, as soon as dude scored, all rushed each other in a huddle in a group hug. Straight up. And I don't know if it was like on purpose defiance or if it was just, it was just what we had talked about.
It's
the previous
episode
where
it
it was
is,
like,
bro.
Like it was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna happen. We called it.
Yeah.
Right. And during the second goal, same thing happened. Guy ran up to the other guy, embraced him, and it just grabbed his head and just kind of just rubbed it, And it did cause a little bit of controversy because I don't know if it's a prime minister, but whoever's the leader in Germany, right? Whatever they call that. He got involved and he just wanted to remind the German Football League, that the DFL, that they're only allowed to play because the politicians are allowing it. Because government is allowing it.
Well, that's also true. It's sad, but it's true.
And it was just like one of those real moments, too, where it brought you also back to just the weird, unprecedented times, I guess, we're living in. It's just an odd future, man. We made it. We made it, guys, to the odd future we always just watched on TV. We used to enjoy this shit. I guess we're still kind of enjoying it in our own way. Cheers to YouTube, you sons of bitches. We're live.
Well,
all right. Well, what you got, Oscar?
No, nothing. Go ahead. Go.
No, I thought you were about to say something, some Bundesliga stuff. No, you good?
Well,
I thought you were gonna hit us with that Berlin, baby.
Yeah.
Sideswipe these guys cleaning off the balls with Lysol wipes every time the ball went out.
Wipes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you guys some personal business.
I thought it was weird. I just thought it was weird. I don't know if you guys saw that. These guys are wiping down the soccer balls. Every time that the ball went out of bounds or something, there was guys wiping it down with little Lysol wipes and shit.
Can I run through real quick all of it and give a shout out to all the people that scored in each game? Can we do that?
Only if you shout out every single one.
Man, you're not Stuart Scott. You better calm down.
Oh, come on, man. Let me give a shout out to my people. You got a shout out to my people, man. Where you at?
Booyah.
Where you at, Wolfsburg? Yeah.
All right, all the goal scorers. Let's go. Run it.
All the goal scorers. If you watch Dortmund versus Schalke, which was the 4-0 cooking of the week, baby. Like, that shit was barbecue like shit. Like Kansas City. Like Kansas City, not the team, but the town. Anyways, Dortmund, here we go. Dortmund, at 29 minutes, we had everybody's favorite little white boy, Erling Haaland, man. That boy is ridiculous. Erling, yeah. Oh, man, Haaland, that's your boy. That's all the way from Norway, you know what I mean? And the next guy that scored at minute number 45 for Dortmund against Schalke, once again, was Rafael Guerreiro from Portugal. Okay. My dude's 26 and nobody's paying attention to this dude. Nobody's paying attention to my guy because there's a big dog that plays for Portugal. I'm not going to name him. Oh. Anyways, the real MVP of the game scored at minute number 48, and that was my dude, Thorgan Hazard. He gets no respect because his brother's a little baby beast, too. And he's a funny little baby beast. He looks like I want to be like Belgian, Eminem or some shit. He looks like he's hip as fuck. Like, I'd kick it with the dude. You know what I'm saying? The Hazard bros are dope. So shout out to the Dukes of Hazard, baby. Get it done. As Dortmund, 4-up. And the last goal, this was the brace by, I'm telling you, watch Portugal. People watch Portugal because this is Rafael Guerreiro from Portugal. Age 26. He's right there, baby. He's right there. He's doing things.
Well, he's at the point where he better be doing it big now, or else he ain't gonna ever do it big.
He's
playing. Is that a dog in the back? Is that a dog by the fireplace, or a cat?
Oh shit, that is a dog. Get your little Dodge hand ass out of here, man. I'm recording a podcast, bro. That's cool. He's not gonna listen to me. He's digital as fuck. Anyway. Leipzig versus Freiburg. That was the 1-1 draw. All right. Well, at 34 minutes, Freiburg came in the mix. by ways of Manuel Gulde. Hey, look these highlights up on Fox Soccer's YouTube channel. You'll see all this shit that I'm talking about. Shout out. But anyways, it was Manuel Gulde. He scored at 34, right? And for most of that match, Freiburg was mostly controlling it, which makes sense. You know, burgers always win. It's always a win with burgers for some reason. I don't know. That might be the American in me. But Leipzig finally knotted it up at the 77 mark by Yusuf Poulsen, which is a Danish dude, 25 years old. And at 94 minutes, it looked like Freiburg was going to take the victory, actually, in extra time. By way of, get this, boys, you guys are going to love this name, my guy, Robin Koch. Yep, Robin Koch, my guy. But his goal was disallowed by the VAR. And this was also a VAR controversy. It was by like half of his pinky, or it could have been his cock. Anyways, Robin Koch. I did love that. Robin Koch. All right. In the Hoffenheim game, which Hoffenheim got totally hot.
There was an own goal in that game too, right?
Yeah, it was actually the first goal of the game, which happened at minute number 58. It was Kevin Akpoguma. Akpoguma.
There you go.
I totally chopped up his name in the beginning. But anyways, it was an own goal by him, and I saw the own goal, and my heart goes out to my boy. He did nothing wrong. He was actually facing away from goal when he kicked, but there was so much heat on that ball. There was nothing he could do. It just basically took his foot and just like you know the little hanging little shit for the boxers? I forget what that boxing shit is called. That's what his foot did right there. What is that? It was just like Mike Tyson just took one to those. It just went bloop.
And that opened up the scoring for the whole game, though, right? I mean, because the first half was scoreless.
Yeah, right? The first half was scoreless. It was kind of a wash of a game. It was kind of a sleeper. Mm-hmm. But right after that goal, 2 minutes later, Hertha scores. They put in their first score, which was by Vidad Ibasek, which is a Bosnian guy. He's pretty sick. And then there was another goal by this guy you guys really need to look out for.
Bosnian and Herzegovinian.
Yeah, Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's crazy, huh? I feel like I have to say the whole thing out of respect. You feel me? Well, I feel like Bosnia would be shady.
Borussia Mönchengladbach, the whole name. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, same thing. So, in 74th minute came the third goal for Hertha, and this guy is young. He's a kid. I've never seen him before, never even heard about him before. But his name is Mateus Cunha, and he's from Brazil. Oh, the move he put on for that final goal. Oh, my God.
I actually have him signed in my Football Manager career.
Oh, my God.
No, not FIFA, Football Manager, actually. Different, but
all I had to say is like butter on bread. Smooth, baby. Like smooth. And I was like, it makes sense. He's Brazilian. You know what I mean? So, all right. Moving on to the next game, Dusseldorf and Paderborn. That ended in a draw that was 0-0. All I have to say about that is, both are trash. You know what I'm saying? Moving on.
Boring.
Yeah, lame. Don't waste your time with anything called Dorf or Born. You know what I mean? That shit is worse than Game of Thrones final season. You feel me? Anyways, moving on to the next game, it's Augsburg versus Wolfsburg. You know what I mean? The Battle of the Bergs. We're about to find out, even though they didn't allow Hamburg to play. I did watch a little bit of the English game on Netflix. We'll talk about that afterwards. But anyways, Augsburg versus Wolfsburg was an interesting game. Tin Jedvaj, it's pretty good. So young, 24-year-old Croatian.
Say that 10 times fast.
He didn't open up the scoring, but I think he scored a really nice goal in the 54th minute. The guy that opened up the scoring, which was it was an amazing opening to the scoring, was Renato Stefan, which is, you'll never guess where he's from based on that. But he's actually from Switzerland. Dude, he hit a screaming header into the back of the goal from just outside the box. Like, he was almost touching the line of the box. So it's like, do not get headbutt by Renato Steffen. That's a hard-ass head, bro.
I mean, and he's only like 5'7" too, so...
Bro, that is a hard-ass head. You know what I mean?
Sounds like that's a...
And one fact that I have about the other score, which I was saying he scored a really nice goal, Tin Jedvad, is he was looking real Ethan Hawke. Yeah, I mean, he reminded me of like Ethan Hawke when they try to do that Magnificent Seven reboot. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, what you guys trying to do? But Ethan Hawke came out of that, and he had the little like Christian Bale like man bun happening. I was like, okay, that's little Tin Jedvad. The VAR goal that was disallowed was kind of weird, because the player that scored the goal wasn't actually offsides. It was another player, and it got ruled in favor of offsides because the player that was offsides was actually, he was in the way of the goalkeeper's sight. So he was like an obstruction. And they gave that an offside no goal. I've never seen that before. I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy. I thought that was crazy. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen some shit like that in football, but I never seen some shit like that. So I thought that was weird about that game. Just saying. Yeah. Anyways.
Are any of these Bundesliga games, do they ever have any night games?
Yeah. Actually,
I think
tomorrow's
Monday
game.
Night.
Tomorrow's game.
I think Monday night is a night game.
Monday night football. It's like it's night over there.
Yeah.
What time's that game on tomorrow over here? It's like what the hell? What is
11:30. 11:30 in the morning here.
California, Monday Night Football's always been 5 p.m., man. You know what I mean? Are you ready for some football? So, yeah. All right, let me move on to the games. Let's get through this episode. Let me just finish these games, and then, you know what I mean? We'll call it a night, America, because it's too much of us. Too much of us is called an overdose. So check this shit out. Frankfurt only got one goal against everybody's favorite pronunciation, Mönchengladbach. But anyways, at 35 seconds, my man, this was the battle. Okay, I'm going to say it right here, live on YouTube. This was the battle of the immigrants, okay? Because only non-Germans scored in this game. This is the only game where no German scored. All right, fun fact of the week.
I know.
Mönchengladbach, 35 seconds in, my guy Alessandro from France, if you couldn't guess from the pronunciation, age 27, got that goal, my man. And then 7 minutes later, before I could even get home from work to stream live with Nate, Marcus Thuram, age 22 from France, also scored. 7 minutes in, they were up 2-0.
French boys be cooking, man. They're deep.
This was a joke. France is out there getting it. Another guy to look at from Mönchengladbach, though, is Rami Bensebaini. That's a crazy name. I can't believe I just said that clearly. But anyways,
that rolled off the tongue so smoothly too.
My dude is from Algeria. These dudes from Algeria and Egypt are starting to show up, man. Northern Africa is starting to shake things up, my guys.
Coming for that ass.
But anyways, Rami, he got that goal, so it was already three cuts up. By the time Frankfurt got a goal, it was, that's what we call a garbage time touchdown. But my guy, Andre Silva from Portugal, again, my guys, the only good player for Frankfurt, finally netted. You know what I mean? So there it is. Moving on to the next game, Köln, a.k.a. Chivas Germany, versus Mainz. You know what I'm saying? Mine's 05. I don't know why they got that 05, but I'm guessing 1905. You feel me? Anyways, Cole. They started to score real quick. The Chivas were feeling real good, even though they couldn't have their mascot in there because they couldn't allow a goat trainer in. But they were like, it's all good. We're already called the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Every other team's trying to be the GOATs. We already the GOATs. So Marcus, definitely German. Scored 6 minutes in. You feel me? Okay. At 53 minutes, Florian Kainz, which is funny.
But he scored a 6-minute penalty.
Yeah, it was a penalty. So it was interesting, but it definitely was a penalty.
So early on, Mainz committed a penalty that gave up an early score.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's an added fact to this Cologne game. But the next score was not a penalty, and it was a decent score by Florian Kainz scoring against Mainz. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, how the hell do Kainz on Mainz kind of like, criminal activity happenings. But anyway, so then for Mainz finally showed up. Like I said, I think Cologne was in the mix for like about an hour. And then Mainz finally turned it up. And I think Cologne, Chivas, Germany just became lackadaisical because no crowd. They had no energy after a while. And they're gassed. They haven't been training for a while. Anyways, on the 61st minute, my guy Taiwo Awoniyi from Nigeria scored a very nice goal. And in the 72nd minute,
him in FIFA too.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a quick little shifty dude. I seen him. And at 72 minutes, Pierre Malung from Cameroon, another African international, scored a nice goal. So it was just like, it was nice to see some talent out there, and it was young talent for the most part, except for Kainz. Kainz is pushing 30. I'm sorry, Kainz, but of course you scored against Mainz. You feel me? That was nice. I mean, he provided some nice. He provided a zinger right there. But anyways, the final game for me, Union Berlin against Bayern München. You know what I'm saying? Because they be munching on too much bullshit. I'm tired of them winning. Anyways, in 19 minutes, Mueller scored a goal. Disallowed. You know what I mean? Disallowed because he was suspicious. I mean, he looks like one of Oscar's neighbors. So they were like, nah, we don't like this goal. It's a little bit shady. He was like, it's cool. Fuck you. Anyways, 40 minutes in, the craziest, like, most underrated striker in the history of the fucking game, Robert Lewandowski. I don't know why. Maybe because he's a little bit of Polish sausage. Not 100% sure, but at 31 and still cooking up the league, like, give my guy Lewandowski some love, baby.
Don't talk about sausage like that, bro. You know I'm going vegetarian, man.
I apologize. How insensitive. Anyways, at minute number 88, Benjamin Pavard. Everybody knows Pavard. From France, once again.
Everybody.
Another French guy.
Not Captain Picard, though, right?
Not Captain Picard. This guy don't know nothing about enterprises.
He was also a French guy, but he just happened to have an English accent.
Nah, well, this guy knows only about real prizes. My guy, Benjamin Pavard, from France, World Cup winner. France is cooking it up in all leagues. If you got a French dude on your team, you're doing all right. Mm-hmm. Unless you're United. Shots fired, baby. Come find me. But yeah, that's how I felt about Bundes this week. It was fun. I've never been this into the Bundes, to be honest. I just like Dortmund because they weren't Bayern and because they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." You know what I mean? So I was with it. But now, Bundes got my attention. Serie A, please come back. Please.
So you got any final remarks for this episode, Chewy?
What?
You got any final remarks for this episode?
Fuck, man. Am I talking too much?
You got one. You got a word. You got a word. You got something you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I think I'm all out of words. I'll save my words for episode 4. Okay. Episode 4 is gonna be special because Brett Favre was one of my favorite players. Number 4 is Barry. Yeah, it kind of makes me mad that Dak. It makes me mad that Dak Prescott and Derek Carr both chose to wear number 4. Like, you disrespectful little shits.
All right,
how dare you?
So that's your final statement of the episode. All right,
I'm coming for your job. I'm coming for your job, Stephen A.
You got anything for us, Oscar, to part with us on this episode?
Oh man, nah, man. I think Chewy took the words right out of my mouth, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Nah,
put him back in.
Man, no, no. Jet fuel can't match still beams. Tune in next Sunday. watch some Bundesliga, drink your milk,
take your vitamins.
Take your vitamins, all that shit that Hulk Hogan would say.
Eat some reishi mushroom. No, trust me, get some reishi mushroom in your life. We'll beat this virus together, but get some reishi mushroom in your life. Okay? Cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody. Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark. We're making our mark on the moon. We're somewhere floating in space right now. We're floating.
All right, and on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of the OTM Live Sessions.
Getting out of hand.
Thank you guys for watching.
The episode. That's how crazy your shit got.
You want to say something else? You got more? You got more to say? I thought you wrapped it up.
I love America. Everybody go watch the video that the president posted who knows how many hours ago. That shit is hilarious. It's ridiculous. Good night. The future is here. We're fucked.
All right. That's going to wrap up this episode of OTM Live Sessions. Make sure you tune in next week. Same place, same time. And like they say down in Texas, risk it for the brisket. Yes, and we out. Peace.
Get baked.
After party at
Get baked. Don't drink and drive. Wear a mask. You know what I mean? Or don't ask.
All right. We're out. Peace.